Go ahead, host.
What do I say?
Whatever you want.
I forgot.
Oh. Do you know what this is called?
No.
You don't?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to...
That's good.
Hey.
Hey.
Maybe if you
everybody.
talk really loud.
Okay.
Like
Hey.
if you go like, and welcome.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to My Mama Done Told Me, a podcast with a mama, a son, Jeffrey,
I'm the son.
and a daughter, Lauren.
That's me.
Yeah, and we're in different places today. Can you tell?
Can you tell?
Does anyone notice?
Did
No,
can
probably
anyone
not, because we're just tiles like the Brady Bunch on there.
There's a story of lovely Jeffrey
What?
and two of his family members that are hanging out with him.
Oh, my goodness.
All right.
There's one.
To me, that sounds like a Taylor Swift song.
There's one.
She just makes up stuff and starts singing.
Yeah, that's why she's popular.
Yeah, I know.
That's why she's poplar,
Poplar.
Poplar tree.
like a tree.
Anyway, so here we are.
So here we are.
Here we are.
So, Mom, what are we talking about today?
What do you want to talk
I think
about?
our episode, this is our 24th episode. Do you realize that?
Did you know that 24 is my favorite number?
Why? Because it's divisible by 6?
No.
Why?
It is, though.
Why is it?
Because it's
So-
12 plus 12.
So, last episode, 23, was Lauren's favorite number because it's Michael Jackson's basketball number. Sorry. And
Yeah.
mine is 24 because X is the 24th letter of the alphabet. And I like the letter X.
Okay. It could be mine
Interesting.
because I wish I was 24 again.
Yeah, but that could be...
Well, in that case, my favorite number is 26.
You want to be 26
I
again?
don't know. That was like, feel like that's a good age.
I'd be like 30.
I was going to say, I think really if I could choose an age, it'd be 30.
I'd stay 30.
Not like what was going on in my life at that time, but
yeah.
just like
I wish,
26
I might go
is a
back.
good.
Yeah, I might go back a little earlier just because my metabolism was better. You're good.
Okay, so here we are. Our episode tonight is about rules.
Rules.
When we were grown up,
O'Doyle rules.
rules and discipline. Were there any rules in your house growing up that you felt were excessively strict?
You said that with a little poison in your voice.
There was just a tiny bit of
Because-
venom
Because
in
I'm
there.
really anxious to hear what this is going to
Oh, I've got my answer already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do. I know
It's
it.
not that much. It's really not that much. It's
No.
just there's
Okay.
just one that I thought was really stupid.
Well, and you can, that's fine. It can be stupid. So who wants to start? Since
Well,
I'm the host.
you're the host. You
So,
decide.
Okay, I think Jeff should start.
Okay. I have one.
Am I going to say I know what it is?
You probably will.
I think I know what it is.
Well,
Why
Do you
don't
want me
you
to write it
probably the
down?
same as mine.
say
Shall I
one
write?
word and we'll see if we're on the right track.
I have a word.
Which word would I say? Toys.
Uh-huh.
Oh, is that
Uh-huh,
it?
I knew it.
Okay, never mind.
See,
Yep.
I knew it.
Yep. He-Man in
Satanic
particular.
Panic,
Yeah, I was going to
maybe.
say He-Man. but
Right. So
that's-
we grew up in the time of the Satanic Panic, which would be the early
Late
90s,
80s, early
late 80s,
90s.
yeah.
early 90s.
Yeah. And
Oh, or late 80s.
Yeah.
there was a phenomena.
Phenomena.
Phenomena. Phenomena.
Also, a spectacular movie with, who was that? John Travolta?
Oh, phenomenon.
Oh, that was a good
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Was that John Travolta?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, who was the woman in it?
I don't
I
remember.
can't remember.
I just remember seeing him on the
Definitely wasn't Minnie Driver.
I remember seeing him on the cover and he's like,
Andy McDowell.
is that thing? What is Andy McDowell?
Remember when we were talking about multiplicity?
Yeah, and Minnie Driver. Oh,
Yeah,
it was
it's-
Andy
It was
McDowell.
Andy
Yeah.
McDowell. So I
Okay.
get them mixed up, I guess.
Yeah. Easily to
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Anyway, so we grew up during that time and there was another phenomena. It was just the phenomena that came along through, of this of this satanic panic, and that it is what it is. If you don't know what that is, look it up. But there was another phenomena in the young people's world called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Right? This was a toy that was created. It was created as a toy first,
Yes, which is interesting.
which is interesting.
Different.
Came up with a toy. It was this kind of fantasy world called Eternia, and it was the good guys versus bad guys in the classic battle of good versus evil, where the good guys, He-Man and his Masters of the Universe, are against Skeletor and the forces of evil, right?
Horde or whatever
Right.
it is. Mm-hmm. Isn't that what that's
But
called?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
But
In She-Ra, that's what it's called.
Yep.
Anyways, go ahead.
but they came up with all these fantastical characters because they wanted to sell toys, right? Then, in order to sell toys, they started coming up with a cartoon and comics, but
Which
mostly
is
a
so
cartoon.
backwards.
Normally, it's the other way around, but this was made to sell toys. This cartoon was made to sell toys. I got hooked on the cartoon. I remember waking up and you would record it for me because I loved it so much. Then something happened where my parents decided that for some reason they felt that, and this is no judgment. You
I
went
understand.
off. You went
I
off the best
totally
that you knew, and you were, especially now as a parent, you do the best you can all the time to try to keep your kids safe, right? So there's no judgment here, but these toys I loved. I played with them a lot. I had the Castle Grayskull and Skeletor's Lair and
Snake Mountain.
Snake Mountain. You're right. And because there was there was fear that these were instruments of the devil,
Evil.
of evil, I had to get rid of them all. And that was very traumatic for me. And I'd like an apology now, please.
I think I have
I'm just kidding. I'm
apologized.
kidding.
I think I have.
Yeah,
I think we went over the top, and both Larry and I
Yeah.
have admitted and I don't know if Larry's apologized to you, but I have. Too over the top.
Anyway, say that again. I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Apologize one more time.
What was that?
No, yeah, I
You're
look
on
back on that
recording
now,
now.
and I would do something. I would do it much differently than
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, I get it. There was a lot
Well,
of
and
things.
you were far from the only one
Yeah.
to go
Right.
down that road. So it's not like,
Right.
I mean, you want to talk about herd mentality,
sure.
and fear mongering. It's
Right.
like, well, yeah, of course. If you think that it's going to be detrimental to your kids for even a second, of
Right,
course
and-
you're going to want to take it away
Right.
and make it so that it's no longer
Right.
and you're not really thinking all that logically when you're scared.
well, and the
you know,
the
I mean, that's
at the time the Christian media outlets were saying things like,
Yeah.
this is a big problem, and that there's so
people are dying. Kids are doing things that are, they're killing people. They're doing, it's
or opening themselves up to
demonic possession
activity.
and
Right.
that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, to be fair, not to go too deep into anything crazy, but I was dealing with some things at the time that that I know that you guys attributed to some spiritual warfare and all
Right.
that.
Right.
And looking back on it, it makes sense. You're going to do whatever you can to try to limit that.
Yeah.
So no hard feelings.
Yep.
But I loved those toys.
I know you did.
I
know you
loved them,
did.
and it really hurt to have to put them directly into a trash bag and just
Right.
take them to the street.
Did you ever get some back though? I mean, oh,
I had toys. I
yeah.
was of no
but not
need
that
for toys,
particular toy.
but not He-Man toys. No,
I'm
there was
sorry.
a couple that didn't make it into the trash.
Yeah,
there was
I
like
kind of
one or two,
remember
but
that
I
there
didn't
was
get.
still a few fringe,
Well,
some
and there
fringe left.
was there some at Dad's?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was Dad's had.
But
So
most of mine
we
were
should-
at. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right now. I'm okay.
But it isn't like I beat you to death or anything.
That's not that. No. You kidding me? No. You just hit me with a wooden spoon.
That was probably my fault.
It was.
In the proper place for the proper time.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, Jeff.
My mom did not beat me, so don't worry. Okay. That was the one that I went to was
Yeah.
Did you know that's where I was going to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did. I don't know
Other
where.
than that, I don't think that there was a lot of rules growing up that I considered to be excessively strict. Like not from my perspective anyway. You know, they're the normal, you know, restrictions
Curfew.
on things like curfew
Yeah.
and you know, if I wasn't doing well in school, then I wasn't allowed to go do something because I had to do homework, you know, but that's logical parenting, you know,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
to me, that's not excessively strict. If anything, you were probably more lenient than a lot. Now, I have friends growing up that thought that you were strict just
Really?
because well, yeah, but not necessarily in a bad way. But like, for example, our neighbors, they were more lenient about what their kids went out and did, right? Then I had more of a like curfews and things like that. Well, I don't think that's excessively strict. I don't think they were excessively lenient. It wasn't, you know, it was just a little bit of a difference
Right.
on, you know, how directly we're being parented. And that's not good, bad, or otherwise. It's just.
I do remember one time you were going someplace as a teenager, a young teenager, and I don't remember who you were with, some guy, and you walked out the front door and you turned around and you said, "Mom, I'm going X place. I'll be back at X time." I said, "Okay, see you later. Love you." And I heard the kid go, "Why do you always tell your mother where you're going and when you're going to get back?" And you said, "Because she, you know,
She'll
it's
worry
like,
if I don't.
yeah." I mean, it wasn't because you had to.
Yeah.
You did it because
Yeah.
that was respectful. I felt like that was respectful.
Well, and part
I
of that is
appreciated
because, yeah, and part of that's because you get raised in a way where it's expected that I'm not going to like it
Yeah.
if you just leave and
I
don't tell
gotta
me
know
where you're headed.
going and when
Yeah.
you're coming back.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that just was expected, and
Right.
it wasn't.
But that wasn't like a pointed out rule or
No.
anything that said you must tell me where you go
Right.
and when you're going to get home. It was
Right.
just
Yeah.
that was just done,
Yeah.
which was nice.
I wonder who that was.
I don't remember. Somebody.
It's probably DJ.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
DJ
It
would've
wasn't one of the
known.
normal regulars.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Not one of the normies.
Not one of the normal regulars. Not my other sons.
Hornaceks.
Not my other sons.
Right.
Those other kids that lived
Yeah.
with us for a while.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
now and then.
In fact, most of us lived with them.
Yeah, that's true.
They had and
I didn't,
they
but-
still do. They have a rotating door of vagrant children that
Yeah,
live with them.
I think so.
Vagrant, I say, I was one of them. So
Yep.
Yeah.
when you abandoned me,
Yeah, when
and
I abandoned you and left. Yeah, so that's good.
it is good.
I'm glad that there's not a lot of things.
Yeah,
'Cause
Lauren.
it could be kind of weird.
Mine is more geared toward the music part, the secular music.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no secular music. So no Sweet 98, no pop music, nothing.
Yeah.
That was probably over the top, too.
A little bit.
Sorry.
I mean, it's not like I never got to listen to it because
Well, by the time you really wanted to, you had outlets where you could, whether it was in your car or over at dad's or
right.
or whatever it may be, or at friends' houses.
Yeah, or like when I stayed home sick from school.
Yeah. Sick from school. Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, Ma.
It's okay, honey.
Try to tell me.
I remember not like having, like thinking that I had to like change the dial on my
Oh
thing
yeah.
to make sure that I didn't
Yeah.
get busted out listening to Sweet 98 or whatever it was at the time.
Sweet night. The like tamest radio music that you can think of. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that you probably know what I'm going to say.
I don't
But you had to refer to a certain band by their initials so that our parents wouldn't know what they were actually called and get mad.
What was it?
BNL?
What?
BNL?
BNL? Oh, Bare Naked Ladies?
Yeah. You had to refer to them
That
as
is
BNL
hilarious.
because you knew that Larry wouldn't like or let you
That's
listen
true.
to. It was specifically Larry because I feel like Mom knew of them. This is just the memory. It might not even be true.
I don't remember.
But
I don't know either.
I feel like Mom knew of them. Okay, so here's one thing with regard to that
Yeah.
whole thing. There was this metalcore and hardcore and like metal genre in Christian music at the time that was, to this day, anyone out there listening, you can fight me on it if you want, was good.
It's good. Yeah.
Good, legitimately good. Not just like, a lot of times in the Christian music scene, it'll be a little bit campy because it's like, we're Christian and we're trying to take the music that is happening, what we would consider out there, and just turn it Christian.
And
so
tweak it, yeah.
And it ends up being
Like a parody of
Yes.
the original.
yes. But this was very original
Yeah. Right.
stuff, and that was when I started getting into
Who is that?
Well, it was everybody from like Zayo and Blindside, and those were, and POD was one of them. And they're not metal, but
Well, I mean,
they
it
were
was
they were
kind of-
more alternative as opposed
It was
to
it was
yeah.
more new metal than
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like Christian new metal.
Right. Yeah.
That
But at the
sounds funny
time,
to say it that way.
yeah.
Really?
And there was a whole bunch of other ones too. But the good thing is you could buy those at Parables.
Yeah,
So-
you could. I remember that.
So I remember several times Mom would hear me listen and like, "What are you listening?" And I'm like, "You can read the lyrics." I remember bringing stuff home and going, "Read the lyrics because I want to listen to this." And like, okay, I bought it at Parables. It says Christian bookstore right on the back of the thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, I guess it's fine then.
Yeah.
I hate the style. Like, so do you remember the band called the Insiders? Mm-hmm. They're like Christian ska.
Yes.
They put together a album that was traditional worship songs done in
Oh, funny.
and I remember, do you remember, and there was a huge like 6-disc player that was in our living room at our old house that, you lifted up the plastic
Yeah.
top and you put the
them all-
CDs in and it would
In a
like
carousel. Yeah.
Yep.
and these big old speakers, which now they're speakers this big
Yeah,
that
yeah.
are better.
That sounds so much better.
Right, but these big speakers, and I remember putting that on, and it's like, and it's playing like Jesus loves me or whatever, and Larry's like, turn that off, and I'm
He
like,
hated it.
I'm like, wait, don't you hear what they're like? It's worship music, and he's like, no, it's not. I'm like, it is, but okay,
but it
I'll turn it off.
Not your flavor.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't Petra.
Oh man.
Petra was as heavy as Larry would get.
Yeah.
That's true.
Remember when we all went to Carmen?
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
That
I
was
loved
fun,
Carmen.
though.
Carmen
a
threw
lot
me
of
a drumstick.
Yes, he did.
Yep, a broken one.
Drumstick.
A drumstick.
A drumstick.
What else? I kind of cut you out and
No, it's
bogarted
okay.
your conversation.
Yeah, you did. Jeez, Jeff. Yeah, and I vaguely remember. Not vaguely. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Vaguely remember.
No, but I remember.
I feel like I'm on the whipping post.
You're not.
Why?
I don't know.
No,
You're not.
no. This one you let me buy it, and then Larry told me I couldn't have it.
Oh, I know what it is.
What?
Oh,
That movie, that VHS
Dangerous
movie.
Minds.
Dangerous. And I still love that
So
movie.
good.
It was
Such a
so
good movie.
good.
Such a
It
good
was
movie.
such a good movie, and he made us not
Take it
watch
or
it
like
anymore.
throw it away or whatever.
Oh, I know.
I
we
have a
couldn't
chicken.
Have it.
A whole one.
A whole one. I'll have a
Raw.
chicken. A whole one. I love that.
I do too. I liked that movie, but
I bet you if Larry watched that movie today, he'd like it too.
no, because
No.
there's too many curse words.
There's curses in it. Yeah,
And
that's true.
it's. I don't blame him. I don't like it either. I don't like to hear the F word. I don't like to hear the
It's my
Lord's
favorite
name.
word in the whole world.
It's everybody's favorite word anymore, but it's still
It's not your
Joking, it's
favorite
not
word.
really my favorite word.
it's
I'm
a
just
lot of
being
people's favorite word. They use it a
It's an
lot.
overused
I mean,
word, yeah.
it's
Yeah, it
used
is.
so much now that it's just ugh. Anyway. Yeah. So
So, Mom, do you want us to talk about rules in your house growing up that
well,
were
we didn't have any
excessive?
rules in our
Okay.
house.
I was wondering where you were going to go with this.
We really had no specified rules.
It was lie
As
for
a matter of-
Mom
it was,
and
yeah, I mean, it was basically you didn't know really what was okay and what wasn't
Yeah, it
until
was like-
after the fact.
yeah.
And then you knew that it was
a
wrong.
surprise.
And yeah, it was
Yeah.
always a surprise. So
that's tough.
it was very tough.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, okay, one day it's okay and the next day it's not okay.
That's hard.
Or,
Yeah.
Or
Talk about confusing,
yeah,
especially
it's
for a
very
kid.
confusing for kids. Like you never knew when the rug was going to get pulled out. You never knew when the door was going to slam on your face. You know, I'm just so happy that I could
So,
give
yeah.
you guys a life that doesn't look
Just
like
structure.
Yeah.
And
Well, and that's what I was going to say. You felt like you were on the whipping post, but we should say
I mean, none of
we
that.
never had that. That stuff's small potato. I mean, who cares?
that.
Yeah, did it suck to throw away my toys? Yeah, of course.
Well,
and now,
it sounds really.
it sounds silly
All
now.
my CDs are gone.
It doesn't sound silly, Jeff. I don't think it sounds silly
No,
at
no,
all.
no. What it sounds silly to tell me I have to throw them away,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
I get it.
I mean, it all sounds.
Yeah.
To look back at that, I would have done it totally different.
Sure.
But anyway.
But what I was going to
over.
say is, we never had to question what would get us in trouble, what was right and what was wrong in the house, what would be allowed, and what. I mean, obviously, if we did something for the first time and it wasn't cool, then we knew now.
we
but
learned
yeah,
our
but-
lesson.
yeah, but it wasn't like we didn't have to walk on eggshells at home, wondering when.
Hopefully it was consistent.
It
and
was.
There was a consistent
Yeah.
boundaries, consistent expectations.
Yeah.
You know,
That I'm
Even
very
though it was
grateful
different for me than it was for the boys.
and
It's
I
okay.
and hopefully that you what it
The
wasn't
boys?
that.
Yeah, you and Ben,
Oh.
completely different than for me.
Let's unpack this a little bit. What do you mean?
Like curfews and stuff. It was different for
No.
me. Yeah, it was. Mom. Yes, it was.
Lauren.
I remember.
Well, that's because you were out doing stupid stuff.
Not any stupider than Ben was.
Well, it was probably stupid.
Ben didn't even come to live with us until he was out of high school.
I know, but
It's
I'm
a
just
little
saying.
different when he's like 19 or 20 years old and in college.
I know.
Well, of course it's different for him.
But what about him?
I was her favorite.
Yeah, I know.
No, I think if there was a difference, it would have been because if you were doing shows and didn't even get over till midnight, then you would get home later than that.
Okay.
Don't hold regret. Bring it all out. Or don't hold on to things.
I'm not.
I don't remember
care anymore.
having things be different for you unless there was some kind of an exception.
Was that
I
it? Was it
remember.
curfews? Is
Yeah.
that was the? I don't even remember what our curfews were, so I can't really speak to that. But
Yeah, I don't know either. I just remember.
Well, I know they were late enough.
Okay.
They were late enough.
what's your curfew now? 8:30. I want to be home by
I
like,
want to be
I wanna
home
be
by
home by
20
9
minutes
o'clock.
ago.
right. I wanted to be home. That's why I do this at my house.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be home any later than this. Yeah. Anyway.
Yep.
Mom, do you feel like there's anything besides what we've talked about that you were excessive about? Anything you feel like you should have been more?
No, I think for the most part, we had pretty easygoing childhood and adolescence and teenager. I think it went fairly smoothly up until until maybe 19 for Lauren. Maybe is when she.
Yeah, but I moved out when I was
I know.
19. So
I know.
You moved out when I was 18.
Oh, look, Jeffrey, stop.
You did.
You could go with. You didn't want to go with.
Ladies and
why
gentlemen,
would you?
why would I want to go an hour away to small town Iowa
Well, but you.
the minute that I graduated high school?
I could say the other way. You left me.
How did I leave you?
You didn't
We
go
went
with
to the
me when I
Navy.
went.
You went to the Navy.
left.
You could have come with me.
That's you leaving.
You
Jeff, uproot everything you're doing.
Well, we did.
It's different. Anyway,
Anyway,
Anyway.
that's always going to be a little bit of a
sore subject.
bone of contention.
We all made it out
Not
all right.
serious though.
Yeah.
We all did okay.
Yes, we did.
I'm actually grateful for it because that forced me to go out onto my own a little bit and not be. When I joined the Navy, I wasn't fresh out of mom's house, and
Yeah.
I already had some life experience and my own place and all that. So
Yeah.
I'd been away from the nest for a little bit, and that helped. I know it did.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Okay.
what this obviously could bring in some awfully terrible things from our listeners if they are listening and want to share. But Was there anything, especially like the things we talked about are all for the most part silly, you know, like my parents just didn't like that, this or that or the other, you know, if you got a story like that and you want to share it with us and then hear us talk about it on the radio,
On the radio.
On the radio.
On the
There it
Zenith.
is.
on the Zenith, what is it?
Does it say?
The Zenith long distance. Yeah. But anyway, if you want to tell us your stories, what did your parents do when you were growing up that or have a rule that you just felt was a little too strict, and now you look back on it and you kind of go,
Yeah.
nah.
You know,
nah.
and I kind of hope our listeners can sit down with their parents and talk like we do.
Right.
You know, this is I'm kind of hoping this is an example that you can sit down and laugh together and talk about things that
Taco Bell.
are not maybe always the most comfortable things to talk about, but
But we're
it is
adults
tortilla
now.
fun.
Tortilla fun.
It is tortilla fun, yeah. So let us know what those things are in your life. And yeah. And to let us know, you have to tell us via email or a comment.
Yeah.
But the easiest or bestest way is going to be through email. And our email address is, Mom?
My mama done told me podcast@gmail.com.
Nicely done. And Lauren, where can they find our social medias if they want?
Sochmeats in the Shoinoids.
In the Shoinoids.
Shoinoids. Everybody say it.
Shoinoids. Everybody say it. Shoinoids. Everybody say it. Shoinoids. Shoinoids.
Oh my gosh, I bet
Okay.
everybody is sick of hearing us say that. Do you think?
No, they're not.
Nah.
I hope not.
It's a recurring themes.
It's a
people
trademark.
start to
Shoinoids.
right.
It's important.
So
do you-
then they say it.
That's
So then we
important.
They
get-
go,
so then we
when I
get
say
t-shirts.
Shoinoids, then the people that are listening go,
Shoinoids.
It's a thing.
It's kinda
when
like-
when we
is
get
it-
our pink T-shirts with the little logo on the front and the back, it says Shoinoids.
Oh,
See what I'm
fun.
saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We should start a Kickstarter.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, well, that's how you find us. Where my mama done told me. I'm Kathy. That's Jeff. There's Lauren over there.
Yep. We're all mixed up.
And we hope you keep your minds open and be kind to each other. And before we go, when should business have the right to refuse service to patrons?
Wow.
This is from the Actually Curious card
If they're
from
being
Curiosity
drunk
Labs.
and abusive.
Okay, an abusive drunk customer should be refused service. Lauren?
Yes.
If they have their genitalia out.
Hootie.
Hootie.
Yeah.
Hootie, bottom half. Top half, meh. Whatever.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
who cares?
No, top half too. If it's a woman, come
who
on.
cares?
I do.
Nipples are nipples. No
I
one
don't wanna
cares.
Nobody cares
I
about a
don't.
boob.
I think
You,
I don't care about a
think
boob.
that?
I just don't want to see your nether regions.
I think that if a person is being outright rude to a guest or a staff member, I think that you should just tell them, then you don't need to be here. Yep.
Yep. All
Okay.
good. All good combos.
Yep.
Where's that from?
This is from the Actually Curious deck from Curiosity Labs.
Yep.
Check out our episode. We did a couple, and we'll do a couple more someday.
Yay.
Yeah. Thanks, Curiosity Lab.
Yep.
Go out and buy it.
Hope you keep your minds open
We
and
are
be kind
not
to each other.
paid.
Bye.
We are not paid for this local advertisement.
Say, we hope you keep your minds open and be kind to each other as fast as you can.
We hope you keep your minds open and be kind to each other.
I can't.
You've got to. We're not stopping this recording until.
We hope you
That's a
keep your minds
rule.
open and your
And
We
your-
hope you keep your minds open and your mouths closed.
you keep your
Minds
mouth
open
closed and your mind. We hope you keep your mind open and
and be kind to each other.
and be kind to each other. Yeah, that.
yeah,
Keep your
that.
mind open and be kind to each other.
No, I'm done. I have to practice. I'll practice all week.
We hope you keep your minds open and be kind to each other.
Oh, now
Minds
that
open
you can
and
do
be
it that way.
kind to each other.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Love you. Bye.
Oh yeah, love you.
Oh yeah. Love you. Lady Gaga wasn't there. If she was, they didn't show her on anything.
I can't ever tell. I can't ever tell what is AI and what's not anymore. So I just don't even pay any attention to anything like that. I saw
Well, it was
some.
live, but it was live.
Oh, well, but I didn't watch it. But I
know,
all
but
I
I'm saying,
see is
I
what's
think-
on Facebook, and the ones that I was looking at, they were not real.
I saw them, and they look the same as the pictures online.
Yeah, but
Maybe you
it
saw
doesn't
different
necessarily.
pictures.
Yeah.
Maybe you did.
Maybe you saw different pictures.
I heard it.
Pictures.
Pictures.
Maybe you saw different pictures.
Yeah, AI is going to be the end of us.